Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. What's your digital transformation strategy for your data? Thank you for joining us. Data is used everywhere in organizations. Business users and managers are needing to access that data, often in a more modern, analytical way. And it's not just IBMI data that the business users need access to, but also data that is on other servers. They need this information to quickly make good decisions, solve problems, and improve their business outcomes. This is where digital transformation comes in. It's not just a buzzword at your next company meeting. It's a strategic initiative necessary to stay relevant and competitive in today's business world. My name is Stacy Jensen, and I'm the sales manager for the Business Intelligence Division here at HelpSystems. I will be your host for today's webinar. Presenting today is our digital transformation expert, Greg Schmidt. Greg is a senior technical solutions consultant with HelpSystems. He is a 20-plus year veteran in data, document management, and process automation. How are you today, Greg?
I'm doing wonderful today, Stacy. As Stacy already mentioned, I have a very wide range of experience helping customers, and I've been very fortunate over the past 20 years to have worked with many companies in different stages of their digital transformation journey and helped them to the next level, and some of them even over the finish line. I'm looking forward to talking to everyone soon about their business needs and strategies around digital transformation of their data. I'm going to throw it back to Stacy here just for a little housekeeping, and then I'll pick up here in just a minute.
Great, thanks. So yes, a little housekeeping about today's session. If you have questions during the session, please use the questions feature to send in your questions. We will be following up with each of you and we'll address those questions during that time. We are also recording the webinar and we will include a link to the recording in our follow-up email. So let's go ahead and get started. So here's the plan for today's webinar. We are going to discuss what digital transformation is and what does it mean to HelpSystems. We're going to cover how it might work for your informational strategy. Greg will also talk about a few trends that we are seeing in 2020. We're going to jump into a live demonstration on the HelpSystems SQL BI solution and show how you can deploy and give access to data to your users quickly and easily via web interface and dashboards. And if time allows, Greg will cover how you can easily create views with your business data. So Greg, passing it over to you.
All right, thank you, Stacy. I'm going to start today's conversation by talking about the HelpSystems Digital Transformation Toolkit. With the HelpSystems Digital Transformation Suite of solutions, we can help you at every level of that digital transformation journey you're on. Starting with business intelligence, which we'll be talking more about today. It's used for accessing the business data by allowing you to examine, measure, and extract insights, and in turn improve the company's competitive advantages by seeing data trends and measuring effectiveness. Document and report management for the secure access and approval of documents and reports. We also have forms management for the web-based data forms and collection, and also document creation and approval processes. Advanced OCR data extraction and document classification automation, so you can automate the document capture and classification, which will in turn eliminate the hand keying of data into your ERP or line of business system. Robotic process is also another offering. It allows you to be able to orchestrate and automate business user and server-based tasks that are done manually today. And then last of all, we can help you on any of those departmental automation processes like accounts payable, accounts receivable, and your HR processes. Okay, let's move on to the two main topics for today. What is digital transformation and how it applies to the HelpSystems solutions? How does business intelligence fit into your digital transformation strategy? First of all, let's start out defining what is digital transformation. Digital transformation simply means transforming the way companies create, capture, manage, and distribute their business data, processes, and documents. The phrase digital transformation can mean a lot of different things depending on who you are talking to. If it's someone in IT, C-level executives, developers, or even business users, digital transformation means something different to each of them because of their job functions and tasks at the company. Each team member and employee has a part in the company to make it better and become more efficient to grow it to the next level. Digital transformation is not a thing of the past. It's the now and the future. It's the way departmental managers and users to be able to focus on the job in which they were hired for and not get stuck in that day-to-day manual task that can make them less efficient. Companies grow not only by adding headcount, but by finding ways to become more efficient within their process. The topic of digital transformation does not have to be a scary one. Building your organization's data and analytics competency for data transformation success is a key part to your growth of your organization today. Information is an asset, and companies need to be able to embrace and adopt on how they collect and use it. Being able to deliver to users in reports or give them dashboards to access and see real-time data will make it a competitive differentiator for leading organizations. In turn, data and analytics should become a strategic priority sooner rather than later because of its importance. Data and analytics are the key accelerant of the organization's digitization and transformation efforts. Yet today, there are a low percentage of corporate strategies that mention data and analytics as a fundamental component for delivering enterprise value. Most strategies are just focused around secure document archival and process enforcement. Leading organizations in every industry are starting to wield that data and analytics as competitive weapons. The data they collect from customers, sales, and shipping information can be used to make quick but smart decisions to help the business be nimble and move them forward quickly. There was a Gartner study that was done recently, and they predict that the digital transformation of data concept will quickly be changing. By 2022, 90% of corporate strategies will explicitly mention information as a critical asset and analytics as an essential competency. Now moving on to how does business intelligence fit into that strategy? There are three key elements to building your digital transformation of data strategy that you should be considering. And by doing so, it can help you elevate your success levels with implementing a BI solution. First one is scalability, sometimes referred to as what we call a phased approach, allowing you to be flexible enough to easily expand into other areas of the organization, which allows you to be agile, rapidly deliver business information in logical steps as the business grows. Adaptability, being able to bring together the key parts of your organization and allowing business users to quickly make decisions and solve problems based on the data. And it will also increase the speed of which IT can provide and deploy information to the business community. And last of all, automation, making sure the solution can not only provide data to the users via web portals and dashboards, but have the capabilities to email spreadsheets and PDF reports to users on a time and scheduled basis. Organizations need to start challenging that status quo that has been there for years. Embrace the data and use the data to stay competitive. A question a lot of our customers are asking their team members is, what can digital transformation bring to our organization? How can it help us be more productive and efficient by using the data we already collect on a daily basis? And something to keep in mind is digital transformation of your data is not all about the technology that you are using. It is also about the strategy to provide users and customers a better way to access the data with the use of technology. So making sure everyone in your company is all going down the same path and has the same end game is a large success factor. Before I move on to discuss the digital transformation 3 key elements of building a strategy, I just wanted to quickly cover some of the common emerging trends that we've been seeing so far for 2020. The first one is visual access to your data. So being able to see and work with your data easily. Automated analytics, being able to deliver the data to users the way they need it quickly. Mobile business intelligence, providing the data to users via web interfaces and dashboards. And last of all, access to all the data on the network, not just IBM-I-based data. So your Microsoft SQL servers, your MySQL, Oracle, and other systems like that. Later in today's live demo, I'll be covering more around a few of these topics like visual access to data and mobile business intelligence. Okay, to start, let's first talk about the data, where the entire process starts. So being able to use the company's data to tell the story and deliver results to users and management via dashboards and reports is always the end goal. When looking at the data, many users can be and will be very overwhelmed because just looking at the data, they don't see a way to tell the story and make it presentable. They even might be thinking, I don't have the skills to do this, and I don't know what tools to use to access the data. But don't fear your data. No matter what level your SQL skills are at, or even if you don't know what SQL is, you can still access your data and use it efficiently. Let the technology do the work for you. We can help you at every level of that, from expert level, medium level, beginner level, all the way down to end user level with no SQL skills at all. Our easy to use interface allows you to get to the data easily and tell your story with the data. Again, later in today's presentation, I'll be showing you how easy it is to visually work with your data, no matter what level of database and SQL knowledge you have. All right, now back to the 3 key elements of digital transformation of your data strategy. That first topic today is scalability. The term scalability is something referred to as a phased approach inside of the digital transformation process. It allows you to be flexible enough to start in one area of the business with one use case, and then easily expand into other areas of organizations by being agile and allowing rapid delivery of business information in small planned steps. One of the top things you want to make sure is that your BI strategy allows for growth and expansion as the company and users' demands increase. With a phased approach, you have the capability to start in one area of the business that can get direct benefits quickly, and then move into another, and then scale up as those rides and as the needs arise and stuff inside of there. The concept starts out with looking first at asking questions like, what data do users need to get access to? What do they need to do with the data? How do they need to access it? This will allow you to set a plan of action to build the views they need, but first understand the foundational pieces so they can be built off in the future. Now on to that second topic of adaptability. Think of the term of adaptability as bringing together the key parts of your organization, like the business systems, the business data that lives on those systems, and the business users that will be using the data. Adaptability will allow business users to quickly make decisions and solve their business problems based on the data, no matter where that data may live. So you need to look at the entire company's infrastructure and start to ask yourself questions like, what are all the business systems that we use today? And what are they used for? And is the data on those systems something that can be used to make better decisions and can help us competitively if it's used correctly? Some examples of this would be like, financial data and KPIs. So, can we use the incoming and outgoing invoice transactions in the financial database to better understand our cash flow? HR hiring data, being able to see trends for different departments and skill sets you are acquiring or you might already have. Shipping information, to be able to see trends in areas that might be having high or low demands for certain times of years. You can even use the data from like a CRM and sales system for marketing information to see what areas marketing campaigns and sales campaigns might be working or not, depending on some of the business results. All that data collected today is way more valuable than what companies think it is, just because they don't know how to present it to users, or sometimes just really don't know how to get access to it. Having a BI tool that allows you to quickly visualize, create, and deploy will bring your company to the next level overnight. Now, just to take a little deeper look into the adaptability strategy before moving on, this is where the data lives, right? And what I believe is the most important, to have a handle on of the three strategies, right? So companies need to start thinking better about where their data is and where it's inventoried at, um, so that they can use that data more efficiently. Some companies use what we call data warehouses or data marts for their data, so it's all in one place. That is a great option if they need to organize the data better. And in most cases, the data that lives in the ERP systems and other systems might not be easy to access, so a data warehouse might be a better way to go in that case. But in most cases, we're finding companies are really going after what we call the live data, right, for real-time analysis. Bringing the real-time data sources together helps them get better insight to track, benchmark, and measure all of the business KPIs. It also helps them to identify what areas are doing well and identifies underperforming areas where they might need to spend and put more attention. Bringing it all together into one view or dashboard for your executives and users, display it, high-level drill downs of the data, and so they can see key business trends. If the data natively lives on the IBMI DB2 database, or if it's in a mixture of different systems like MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, or even Oracle databases, our SQL BI solution can help you bring it all together in one place, and so it can be easily visualized. All right, now let's get on to that last topic, automation. Automation is a key part to every digital transformation project that we've been seeing. Many users today still run reports and queries to get the data they need on a daily basis. Being able to automate and visualize the business data and deploy it via web interfaces and web dashboards, and even delivering PDFs and Excel-based reports via email to users is key. An example use case around this would be, having reports that are automatically generated in PDF or Excel that are sent to users every morning. We have customers that do this, and they call them what we call good morning reports. These reports might have details about the previous day's transactions and things that they might need to work on today, like exception handling and stuff like that. In some cases, AP departments, we see a lot of exception reports and aging reports that need to be generated and delivered to users on a daily basis. This data might not only be invoice data and PO data, but also data that might tell them about approval processes that need to be completed inside of an AP workflow. We have already done this with some of our customers that use our WebDocs for AP solution in their AP departments. A few other examples of this would be like trucking and shipping information. Some companies have screens set up in dedicated areas that have auto-refreshing dashboards, like on shop floors or in warehouses, so they can see workload and shipment information real time. Basically, what business users need today is information, on-demand data served to them via dashboards or web portals, or automated data delivery sent to them via email. They need to be able to look at the data to see what has happened. Today, they might look at the data from a manual query that they run, and in most times it's just static information. But what they are asking for is to be able to see the detail behind the numbers or look at the information graphically so that they might understand your business trends and business better through the visuals. Make sure your BI solution is user-friendly and supports your users and at whatever level that they're at today. In most cases, um, if some business users have zero BI knowledge, IT can even create what we call predefined templates to access the more complex data that might require databases and even more complex database joins. All right. With our SQL BI solution, we offer many ways to provide users the data they need and apply it with automation to streamline the IT and the business user side. We have what we call the viewpoint client for design and accessing the data via easy to use visual Windows clients. If you already have queries, and I'll show this in the live demonstration here in just a second, if you already have queries built inside of your IBMI, you can import them using our easy to use wizard. We have Microsoft Excel plugins to directly access the data and views via Excel. SQL web interface also allows users to access the data via a web browser, so nothing needs to be installed on the local PC. We have what we call client tables, which allows users to access data online and offline and pivot the data the way they need to see it and use it. And then we also have dashboards, which I'll be showing in the live demonstration here too. So you can pre-build key data points and display them easily to users through a web interface. And again, one of the big things, with the automation capabilities, having report options so we can automate and schedule PDF and Excel reports to be sent out directly to the user's inbox on a daily basis. All right, now in the live demonstration, I'm gonna switch over here. I'm gonna cover some of those emerging trends that I was talking about earlier. I'm going to focus today more around the mobile access of business data and then visual access to your data. So this will all be time dependent on how much I spend on each of these. I'm going to start with sort of that end result, which gives, giving users access to the data via web interfaces and dashboards. And then I'll quickly cover how easy it is to create some of those with our viewpoint interface. All right, let me get started here. All right, to start out here from the live demonstration standpoint, this is an example of a dashboard. A dashboard, think of a dashboard as there's different elements on this dashboard that will allow you to provide to your users and your communities out there the different pieces of business information, right? So it could be across the organization or it could be all in one department, depending on how you create and who has access to this. But we can have what we call gauges and charts and graphs inside of here. So we can, quickly put a gauge out here to show them, certain, totals and information here. We can also, do graphs and charts inside of here. And these graphs and charts are not just, pretty visuals, they're also interactive methods as well. So if there's some comparison that you want to see, maybe you want to, compare the Midwest, or you want to take the Midwest mountain and the Northeast out of there and just see the South and the West to see what their numbers look like compared against each other. There's ways that you can be able to interact with that information like that. So it's a nice way to be able to interact with that data in those graphs and charts. And same way with the pie charts and stuff too. If you want to pull out data for those nice visuals and stuff like that, you can do that here as well. And then you can also change the way the charts look too. So if someone wants to see different kinds of graph types and stuff like that, there's a line graph or area graphs or pie charts or bar charts and stuff like that. We can do different things like that with the different controls that are in here. Now you'll see inside of here, there's different elements, right? Like I was talking about gauges and graphs and charts. We also have data elements in here, right? So then they might want to see some of these views of over their data. Now, inside of the data, they might want to be able to, like I was talking about, users want to drill down to this information. So there's some cases here, they might want to be able to do regroups and show details behind some of this information. So you can allow them to either drill down into this data and do more analysis themselves, or you can also do what we call predefined drill downs as well. So more of the I want to show the user what to get to exactly, right? So I have predefined ones here that says who purchased this item, right? Or what else did they purchase, right? So this would be great for sales to be able to see and say, hey, what else did this, what else did the my customers purchased in the last 6 months or 7 months or something like that. So they were able to get to that data and drill down to it with the different queries inside of a dashboard. So it just doesn't have to be what we call static data inside of here. Now this data here, you can do stuff with it too. So if you want to make it nice and pretty always, you can do different things with it by creating charts and graphs and doing different pieces with that as well. So if you want to do chart creation or subtotals, you can do that from the interface here as well. So you get some nice visuals with that data, but allows that user to be able to work with it and do other things with it. Now, there's also other delivery mechanisms too inside of here, meaning that I might need to do, save these results, or maybe I might want to email the results or something to someone, right? We can also do that during this process too. So there's an email results option. You can print the results, and you can also save the results as different kinds of documents as well to your local machine. So that gives you the capability to do that through the interface here, through the what we call the dashboard capabilities. Now inside of here, the dashboard capabilities might be connected to other kinds of dashboards. So you might have other dashboards that you want to be able to click on and get to, like statuses and stuff like that. So they can actually click on these different dashboards to access that real-time data in the background. So this might be some data that gets filled in to see, what's the statuses of different locations, right? Real time and stuff like that. So you can see, production stuff on different things. But it gives you that quick access to that data and be able to work with that data directly. Other things inside of here too, really quickly, before I move on to some of the visual design, is the capability inside of here to be able to like email some of this information directly from the interface, or get into other kinds of daily update information and data elements. So we have that capability here too. The last thing that I want to show is really around the access or the creation process, right? So, like I said, in some cases you might already have, predefined queries already that are sitting on your IBM that you want to be able to import. So I can easily use the import capabilities to import them into the SQL viewpoint interface and use that information. So these were just queries that were out there that I run on a daily basis. I can just select them and then grab that information and then put them into the viewpoint. Now, if you need to modify them and create them, it's all done through our interface here. So I can open that up and actually create those and change those, right? So from a design layer, or if I want to be able to view them, so if I want to run them and see what that, what the data behind that looks like, I can actually run that like that, or I can right click and we have a design view, which I'll show you in just a second. So you can design and do other things with them. Now, when we're creating this, so everybody's at different levels of knowledge. So we offer a wide variety of different ways to be able to work with those, with the data and stuff inside of here, and be able to create these nice, pretty views. So there's ways inside of here to be able to what we call Excel options and stuff like that, to be able, or creation options inside of here to be able to do new table views, and inside of here from like views, or what we call just a simple view. Or a dashboard, like I was showing earlier, we can create all that from the visual interface here from that standpoint. So like a table view, one would be like, one that I'm thinking of here is, let me see if I can find that here real quick. So one of them I want to show here is, I'm going to bring this up in design. Oop, let me restart mine. I'm going to start this right back up here again. Sorry about that. But I want to show you a couple different things here. I want to show you, so first of all, you can authenticate to your system. If I can type my password right. Log into the system at that point, and then get access to those different ones, right? So being able to say, hey, I want to be able to, maybe I want to do a new one inside of here and say, hey, a new one. and I want to run it from what we call a template, right? So I'm going to have a predefined template, and this template's going to help the end user that doesn't know anything about the databases. They don't need to know anything about the data at all, right? So they can come in here and say, you know what, I want to select region, I want to select name and state, and then I want to go through and create those different elements inside of a report and then do something with it. So in most cases they don't want to show the SQL, but maybe they want to show the end results and definitions and stuff like that, or email the results to someone. So this is what we call a predefined template view that people can run on that process. Now we also have capability just to go in and create a new one, right? So just saying, hey, I want to go create a new one, and I don't want to have to do anything with a template. I'm just going to go access the data. I know where the data is. I can go and get it. Or we have the capability to be able to, hey, I want to go and modify something that's inside of here, and then go and then make those modifications directly to the SQL if you're at that level of knowledge. Or with our easy to use visual designer, you can see that we have all these predefined joins and stuff inside of this one, but allows me to visualize those different databases and tables and stuff inside of here and work with that data. So I can say, you know what, maybe I need to take this and add it to my spreadsheet down here or my output. So I can drag and drop these different components down into this interface and then output it into one of those views like I was showing earlier. The last option we have here is more for that intermediate user, right? Is what we call the view builder. So if you don't want to be able to see the SQL, or if you don't want to be able to drag and drop some of this information, we have what we call the view builder capability, which allows you to work with those data sources directly and sort of think of this as a wizard, right? So you select your data source. You're going to go select your files, select your fields, select your filters, and then go through that process until it's finished, until you have a full finished view. All right, that and then you can export that out into those different structures then at that point. This was just a very high level overview of some of the different interfaces like dashboarding and some of the visual design and import capabilities we have. Feel free to contact the team, and we can always schedule a live one-on-one demonstration. But for now, I am going to throw it back over to Stacy to wrap us up here for today.
Great. So that does conclude the live demo portion for today. Thank you, Greg. A lot of great information. So in closing for today's topic, we at HelpSystems look at the journey for digital transformation of data like this, starting with being able to streamline the process for the users to access the data by eliminating time-consuming steps and reducing errors, being able to deliver the results to users when and how they need them, either via ad hoc or through an automated through email. Provide users and executives dashboards to easily access the data and make efficient decisions quickly. And last of all, mobility, having ways for users to access the data via web interfaces and through applications that they use on a daily basis like Excel. A BI digital transformation solution needs to be able to adapt to the changing business needs, and changes need to be made quickly and pushed out to the user community with minimal or no effort. So our hope is that you learned a little more about SQL and how it can help you with your digital transformation journey. If you find yourself on that journey, please feel free to contact us and schedule a more in-depth demonstration of SQL. Quick reminder that for any questions that came in during the webinar today, we will reach out to answer those questions. And as I mentioned at the beginning, you will receive a follow-up email that will include a link to this recording. Thanks again, Greg, and thanks everyone for attending our webinar today. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week.